What is it like going from a Honda Goldwing to a Rebel 300? Well, we're going to talk about that in this video. Of course, the Honda Goldwing and the Honda Rebel are very different bikes. They're complete opposite sides of the spectrum. I ride my Goldwing every day. You guys have seen the Daily Rider video on that. I have now had this guy for 2 days. I've taken it to work once and I rode through the country roads I ride all the time. Even the 35-minute ride home, the big thing I noticed, the big difference between this and my Goldwing is comfortability. The comfort factor of Goldwing, that's what they sell it for. That's what it's for, right? But of course, I've been on a Goldwing for so many years, I really don't notice how convenient a Goldwing is. On the way home, the amount of wind hitting my face and hitting my body is absolutely unreal. I kind of miss the wind deflection on the Goldwing, even though I have complained many times about the Goldwing actually deflecting too much wind. But I think I would rather have too much wind deflected than no wind at all. Even my very first bike, my 750 Yamaha Virago, it did have a windshield, and it really helps a lot. I definitely think when I get my naked GL1500, I'm going to go ahead and slap a clear windshield on there. The next thing is the storage. Obviously, that's a pretty big difference. Goldwings are known for their storage. My mom did put some saddlebags on the side, which helps a ton, especially, for your wallet, your keys, smaller items. I had my rain jacket in there. But my Goldwing, you guys have seen, I can fit like 3 sets of rollerblades in there. I have that huge trunk. I can put my backpack, my laptop, my lunch bag. I can fit so much in that. And just for like going to work, going to the store, I really miss that storage. Again, this is kind of giving me insights on when I pick up my second bike, either my GL1000 or my 1100, I might want to set with a full bags, maybe even the trunk, but naked up front, just so I still have all that carrying capacity, but I still get a little bit more wind. I think the thing that surprised me the most about this motorcycle is when I hit speeds. So on my Goldwing, I can go from 35 miles an hour to 75 miles an hour and not really feel different. and of course, you notice you're going faster, but in terms of wind and in terms of comfortability, it basically feels exactly the same. There's hardly any difference. And again, that's what the Goldwing is made for. And I'm not bashing the Rebel. The Rebel is not the Goldwing. This is mostly me noticing the really big differences. But I got this up to 74 miles an hour on some back roads, and I felt like I was going to fly off the back, and I just did not feel safe going 70 miles an hour on this bike. Now, it is a 300, and it hits 700. It hits 70 miles an hour pretty darn good, and it really ups and goes. Like when I hit that throttle, it is faster than my Goldwing, 100%. I don't know if that's because of the power delivery, because of the chain versus shaft drive, but it is. I would not say this is a slow bike. I really wouldn't. It does have 6 gears, so you are shifting a bit quicker, but by no means do I feel like this is a slow bike. I never go over 75 anyways, even on my Goldwing. Of course, another big thing is the seat. Even on 15 to 20 minute rides, my butt, it does not feel great on this. Again, I'm 260 pounds. For somebody who's lighter, that wouldn't really be an issue. But going from my Goldwing to my big old backrest and my cushy seat, and I'm on this tiny little seat. And in addition to going at speeds, when I hit the throttle and I have tons of wind just like beating up my body. For you guys who ride a bike without a windshield all the time, you're probably going to laugh at me talking about this because it's so smooth. Riding a Goldwing and so on. But I feel like I'm going to fly off of this. I don't feel super stable, and I feel like I'm basically as heavy as the bike is. And yeah, it's very interesting. It's a very interesting bike. And going from a Goldwing to this, that's definitely made me appreciate all of the features the Goldwing actually has. I feel like reviewing the Goldwing without talking about the standard cruiser, which is what I would consider this as, it almost did a disservice to that Goldwing review because I don't think I appreciate all of the features the Goldwing has. The Rebel is a great bike. Of course, this is a 2025. I love fuel injection. That's incredible. Of course, when it comes to the storage, comes more planning. When I was going to work last night, I had to really plan out what am I going to pack in my backpack, what am I going to pack in my lunch bag, because there's not a lot of room for air. I need to be able to fit everything on my back. And it kind of did okay. Like a nice big backpack, it kind of does the job a little bit better than I was expecting. And it was not as big of a detriment as I anticipated it to be. And then, of course, the general overall size is something, you know, of course, the Goldwing is a big bike. This is a small bike. It's going to feel a lot different, right? But I didn't quite anticipate the change in how small it feels. Like, in a way, it almost feels like going from a motorcycle to a bicycle. My Goldwing, it really feels like a vehicle. Like, I'm on this big machine that's like taking me through the road, and this feels like I'm kind of sitting on something that's moving me. And I know that's kind of a weird, dumb analogy, but showing up from a couple days later, I wanted to quickly wrap up the conversation I was having with you guys, really comparing this Honda Rebel 300 to my Goldwing 1500 and like the big shocking surprise it was to go on it. The very first ride on this, I did mention it was quite exhausting. I was going about 60 miles an hour average on the way home. I took purely back roads. It was about 36 minutes or so. I actually got that. I think I recorded the entire drive back home. But now that I've gotten used to it, I've taken it to the work the last 2 days. This has been my main motorcycle. This has actually been my only form of transportation for the last 4 days now. I would love to do a challenge like this where my only form of transportation is a bike this size for like 2 weeks, or maybe even a whole month would be cool. Unless when I have my kids, unfortunately, I need to use my car. But my buddy is letting me use his Ural soon with a sidecar. And I could potentially do something like that with a sidecar vehicle. But now that I've been riding this a lot more, I've been getting a lot more used to it, and I'm anticipating the wind. It really isn't that bad. And I feel like people who were listening to me kind of complain about the windshield and stuff, people who normally ride a bike with no windshield, you probably don't even notice that, because riding a motorcycle to you means all of that wind, right? So that is something that kind of makes sense, and something I wasn't really thinking about at the time. But I've had a lot of fun riding this over the last 4 days. That is a school bus. Anyways, those are a lot of cars in there looking at me talking to nobody. Anyways, but I've had a lot of fun riding this over the last 4 days, and I'll probably do challenges on it, and I'll probably ride it some more in the future. And this has really given me what I need to tell me what I need to know for what I want my second bike to be. I've said if I've wanted a GL1000, and I think this has really solidified. On my 1000, I probably want my top case and my saddlebags on. Whether I have a windshield in the front or not, I'm not sure. But not having the storage has been kind of annoying. But thank you guys for watching, and he's gonna give you the outro. Overall, I've been really enjoying my time with this. I only have it for like 2 more days, but we're gonna be making a couple more videos on it. So go ahead, stay tuned, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.